Being the quiet one in a family of extroverts isn't easy, especially when they mistake your silence for weakness. I'm Emma, and this is the story of how my loud, aggressive siblings learned that sometimes the quietest person in the room is the most dangerous. Our family business, Davidson Technologies, was started by our father in his garage 30 years ago. What began as a small electronics repair shop grew into a $50 million company specializing in innovative medical device components. Growing up, all three of us children, me, my older brother Nathan, and my younger sister Olivia, worked in the business during summers and school holidays. While Nathan and Olivia spent their time networking, attending industry parties, and making flashy presentations, I preferred working in the research and development department. The quiet hum of the lab, the methodical process of innovation, and the satisfaction of solving complex problems suited my personality perfectly. "You should get out more," Olivia would say, flipping her perfectly styled hair. "Nobody even knows you're a Davidson. You're practically invisible." Nathan was worse. "How do you expect to run a business when you can't even make a proper presentation? You can barely look people in the eye." What they didn't understand was that while they were busy being seen, I was busy learning. Every aspect of our product development, every innovation, every breakthrough, I was there quietly making it happen. Dad knew, though. He always knew. "Keep doing what you're doing, Emma," he'd tell me during our private conversations in the lab. "They see the show, but you understand the soul of this business." I should have known things would change after Dad's heart attack. He survived, thankfully, but his doctors insisted he step back from day-to-day operations. That's when the power struggle began. Nathan, as the oldest, assumed he would naturally take over as CEO. Olivia, with her MBA and marketing experience, expected to be made Chief Operating Officer. Neither of them even considered my role in the company's future. "Emma? She's just the quiet one who plays with circuits all day," Olivia laughed during a board meeting. "She can keep her little lab job." I sat silently through their presentations about the company's future direction. Their plans were all flash and no substance. Expanding into luxury consumer electronics, outsourcing our medical component production to cheaper facilities overseas, shifting our focus from innovation to marketing. Everything Dad had built, everything that made our company special, they wanted to change it all. "We need to modernize," Nathan declared. "Emma's old-fashioned approach to R&D is holding us back. We need to be more aggressive, more competitive." I tried to explain that our medical components required precision and reliability that couldn't be maintained with overseas production. I showed them data about our market position and our customers' trust in our quality. They didn't want to listen. "This isn't about your precious lab experiments anymore," Olivia snapped. "This is about business. Real business. Something you know nothing about." The final straw came during a shareholders' meeting. Nathan and Olivia had prepared a sleek presentation about their new vision for the company. They hadn't bothered to consult me or even look at the projects I had in development. "As we move forward," Nathan announced, "we need to streamline our operations. The R&D department will be restructured and its budget significantly reduced." I felt my heart stop. The R&D department was the heart of our company. It's where all our innovations came from, where we developed the components that had built our reputation for excellence. "You can't do that," I said, speaking up for the first time in the meeting. "The R&D department is crucial to our success." Olivia rolled her eyes. "The R&D department is a money pit. We need those resources for marketing and expansion. Our customers rely on our innovation," I argued. "We have several critical projects in development." "Your little projects?" Nathan laughed. "We're talking about the future of a $50 million company here, Emma. This isn't your high school science fair." The board members shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Most of them had been with the company since the beginning, and they knew the value of our R&D work. But Nathan and Olivia had put on quite a show, and their vision of explosive growth and increased profits was tempting. "I won't let you destroy what Dad built," I said firmly. That's when Nathan dropped his bomb. "Actually, we've already voted. As majority shareholders, Olivia and I have decided to restructure the company's leadership. Emma, you're being removed from your position as head of R&D." The room went silent. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. "You're firing me?" "Not firing," Olivia said with false sweetness. "Just reassigning. You can stay on as a regular lab technician. If you want." I looked around the room. The board members avoided my eyes, except for Dad's old friend George, who looked apologetic but helpless. Nathan and Olivia had clearly done their political maneuvering well. "You're making a mistake," I said quietly. "No, your mistake was thinking that hiding in the lab would protect you forever," Nathan sneered. "You're just a quiet nobody who got lucky being born a Davidson. It's time for real leaders to take control." I gathered my things and walked out of the boardroom, their laughter following me down the hall. As I packed up my office, I could hear them celebrating their victory, planning their takeover of the company. What they didn't know, what they hadn't bothered to learn, was that I had been protecting our company's interests all along. 2 weeks later, their celebration came to an abrupt end. I was having coffee in my home office when my phone rang. It was George, the company's lawyer, and he sounded panicked. "Emma, we need to talk. There's something about the patents." I smiled into my coffee cup. "Yes, all of our key patents, every single one of our crucial medical component designs. They're not registered to Davidson Technologies. They're registered to you personally." "I know," I said calmly. "Dad and I arranged it years ago." There was a long silence on the other end of the line. But why?" "Because Dad knew something like this might happen. He knew Nathan and Olivia might try to take control someday, and he wanted to make sure the company's real assets were protected." "Emma, this changes everything. Without those patents, the company can't manufacture any of its main products," I finished for him. "I know." The next few hours were chaos. Nathan and Olivia tried calling me repeatedly, but I let their calls go to voicemail. Instead, I waited for the inevitable emergency board meeting that was called that afternoon. When I walked into the boardroom this time, the atmosphere was very different. Nathan's face was red with anger, and Olivia looked like she was about to explode. "What did you do?" Nathan demanded as soon as I sat down. "I protected our father's legacy," I replied calmly. "Just like I've been doing for years while you two were playing corporate politics. You stole the company's patents." Olivia shrieked. "Actually," George interrupted, "she didn't steal anything. The patents were properly registered in her name, with all the correct documentation. They were never company property." "That's impossible," Nathan insisted. "Dad would never." "Dad knew exactly what he was doing," I said. "He knew the company's value wasn't in its name or its marketing. It was in its innovations. The very innovations you two were planning to abandon." The board members were paying very close attention now. The implications were sinking in. Without the patents, all those grand plans for expansion were worthless. "So what do you want?" Nathan finally asked, his voice tight with suppressed rage. "I want what Dad always wanted, for this company to continue being a leader in medical component innovation. I want the R&D department restored, with its full budget, and I want to be reinstated as Chief Technology Officer, with final say over all product development decisions." "Or what?" Olivia challenged. "Or I'll take my patents elsewhere. I've already had several interesting offers from your competitors." The room erupted in chaos. Nathan and Olivia started shouting, board members began arguing amongst themselves, and George just sat there with a small smile on his face. Finally, one of the senior board members called for order. "I think," he said carefully, "that we need to reconsider our recent decisions about the company's direction." The negotiations took several days. Nathan and Olivia fought every step of the way, but they knew they had no choice. Without the patents, Davidson Technologies was just an empty shell. In the end, we reached a compromise. I would return as CTO with expanded authority over product development. The R&D department's budget would be restored and even increased. Nathan would remain CEO, but with limited power to change company direction without board approval. Olivia would handle marketing and public relations, but within strict guidelines that maintained our focus on quality and innovation. "You played us," Nathan said bitterly after the new contracts were signed. "All these years, we thought you were just the quiet one, the weak one." "I wasn't playing anything," I replied. "I was just doing my job, protecting what mattered most to this company. Maybe if you'd spent more time understanding the business instead of trying to control it, you would have known that." The changes in the company were immediate and positive. Our customers were relieved to learn that our commitment to quality and innovation would continue. The R&D department's morale soared, and several key projects that had been put on hold were quickly brought back into development. Even Nathan and Olivia eventually had to admit that the company was stronger with all of us working together, them handling the public face of the business while I ensured we maintained our technical excellence. Dad came to visit me in the lab a few weeks after everything settled down. He was officially retired now, but he liked to check in occasionally. "You did good, Emma," he said, looking around at the busy researchers and prototype designs. "You protected the heart of the company, just like I knew you would. You could have told them about the patents," I pointed out. "Saved us all some drama." He chuckled. "Sometimes people need to learn lessons the hard way." Nathan and Olivia needed to understand that being loud doesn't make you strong, and being quiet doesn't make you weak. The company has grown even more successful since then. Our focus on innovation has led to several breakthrough developments in medical component technology. Nathan has learned to appreciate the value of careful research and development, and Olivia has become skilled at marketing our technical excellence rather than just our brand name. As for me, I'm still more comfortable in the lab than in the boardroom. But now everyone knows that the quiet one can also be the most powerful one. The patents remain in my name, a reminder to my siblings that flash and noise are no match for substance and careful planning. Last week, during a family dinner, Olivia actually apologized for how they had treated me. "We were so wrong about you," she admitted. "We thought leadership was all about being the loudest voice in the room." "Leadership is about understanding what really matters," I told her. "Dad taught me that, even if you two weren't listening." Nathan has changed too. He consults me before making any major decisions about the company's direction now. "I never realized how much you understood about the business," he said recently. "All those years, we thought you were just hiding in the lab, but you were actually learning everything about how this company really works." The incident has become something of a legend in our industry. Competitors who once dismissed Davidson Technologies as a potential takeover target now treat us with careful respect, knowing that behind our sleek exterior lies a solid foundation of innovation and technical expertise. Our father's legacy continues to grow, not despite, but because of that crucial confrontation. The company remains true to its original mission, creating innovative, reliable medical components that improve people's lives. Sometimes I catch Nathan or Olivia looking at me differently during meetings, especially when I'm quietly taking notes while others are talking. They've learned that the quiet ones are often the ones you need to watch most carefully. The patents that caused such an uproar are now joined by dozens more, all carefully registered in my name, but licensed exclusively to Davidson Technologies. It's an arrangement that ensures the company's innovations will always be protected, no matter what corporate politics might arise in the future. Last month, a young engineer in the R&D department came to me for advice. "How do you handle it when people underestimate you?" she asked. I thought about all the years of being dismissed as the quiet one, all the times my siblings laughed at my little lab job, and the sweet satisfaction of finally showing them the truth. "Let them underestimate you," I told her. "Just make sure you're building something solid while they're not paying attention." The company's value has more than doubled since our confrontation, now worth well over $100 million. But more importantly, we've maintained our reputation for excellence and innovation. Our medical components continue to be the gold standard in the industry, and our R&D department attracts the brightest minds in the field. Nathan and Olivia still handle most of the public relations and high-profile meetings, which suits me fine. I prefer spending my time in the lab, working with our researchers, developing the next generation of innovations that will keep Davidson Technologies at the forefront of our industry. Dad visits more often now, and he always makes a point of stopping by the R&D department. He loves seeing the latest projects we're working on, and he never fails to remind me how proud he is of how I protected his legacy. "You know," he said during his last visit, "I always knew you were the one who truly understood this business." Nathan and Olivia saw the surface, the money, the prestige, the power. But you saw the heart of it, the innovation, the quality, the real value we create. The patents that once caused such drama are now just one part of our company's strong foundation. But they serve as a constant reminder that true power doesn't always come wrapped in a loud package or accompanied by grand speeches. Sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one holding all the cards. My siblings learned that lesson the hard way, but in the end, it made our company and our family stronger. Today, Davidson Technologies continues to thrive, built on a balance of innovation and marketing, substance and style, quiet strength and public presence. And if anyone ever underestimates the power of the quiet ones, well, they might want to check the patent office first. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video. Stay stunned.